Shades of absence. The phone clattered onto the kitchen counter, its screen still glowing with her text, "I need to find myself. I'm sorry, Ethan. It's over." My hands shook, the air in the room suddenly too thin, as if her words had sucked the oxygen out. 7 years with Lila, 3 of them planning a wedding, and now this, a digital guillotine slicing through our life together. I stood frozen in our cramped Brooklyn apartment, the hum of the fridge mocking the silence she'd left behind. Her clothes still hung in the closet, her jasmine perfume lingered on the couch cushions, but she was gone. A week later, I found the first crack in her story, a receipt for 2 cocktails at a bar she swore she'd never been to. I tried to rationalize it. People drink alone, don't they? Maybe she'd met a friend, a coworker, someone platonic. My mind churned, replaying her late nights at the gallery, her sudden need for space over the past month. I'd dismissed it as stress. Her art curator job was demanding, her boss a tyrant. But the receipt, crumpled in the pocket of her favorite denim jacket, burned in my hand. The date was last Tuesday, when she'd said she was working late. The bar was in Williamsburg, a place she called pretentious and avoided. I poured a whiskey, the glass cold against my palm, and let the doubt creep in like damp rot. The next morning, I called her. The phone rang 5 times before her voicemail greeted me, her voice bright and unfamiliar, like it belonged to someone else. "Lila, it's me. Can we talk? I found something. Just call me back." My voice cracked. Pathetic. I hated it. I hated the way my chest ached, the way I still wanted her to laugh it off, to explain it away. No answer came. By noon, I was pacing, the apartment's hardwood creaking under my feet, each step a drumbeat of dread. I opened her laptop. Her password was still Ithanlo92, and checked her email. Nothing unusual, just work threads and spam. Then I saw the calendar app, a notification blinking. Dinner with C, 8 p.m, the Blue Raven. That was tonight. The Blue Raven was the bar from the receipt. My stomach twisted, a cold sweat prickling my neck. Who was C? A friend? A client? I told myself it was innocent, but my hands moved faster than my brain, Googling the bar's address. I grabbed my coat, the autumn chill biting as I stepped onto the street, the city's pulse thrumming in my ears, car horns, distant sirens, the chatter of strangers. The subway ride was a blur, my reflection in the window a ghost with hollow eyes. I didn't know what I'd do when I got there, but I needed to see. The bar was tucked between a laundromat and a vape shop, its neon sign flickering like a dying star. Inside, it was all dim lights and exposed brick, the air thick with the scent of bourbon and cedar. I scanned the room, my heart hammering. Then I saw her. Lila sat in a corner booth, her auburn hair catching the light, her laugh sharp and real, not the strained one she'd given me lately. Across from her was a man, tall, lean, with a jawline that belonged in a cologne ad. He leaned in, his hand brushing hers, and she didn't pull away. My knees buckled, but I caught myself on the bar stool, the wood slick under my palms. I should have left. I should have walked out, called her later, demanded answers. But I stayed, ordering a beer I didn't drink, watching them like a voyeur in my own life. Their conversation was animated, her eyes bright in a way I hadn't seen in months. He said something, and she laughed again, her hand lingering on his arm. My chest burned, anger and heartbreak wrestling for dominance. I wanted to storm over, to yell, to shatter their little bubble. But what would I say? "Why are you doing this to me?" The words felt too small, too weak. Instead, I waited. An hour later, they stood to leave. She slipped her arm through his, and they stepped into the night. I followed, keeping my distance, the city's shadows swallowing me. They walked 2 blocks to a brownstone, his hand on the small of her back. My mind screamed denials. She's just visiting a friend, she's networking, it's nothing, but my heart knew better. When they disappeared inside, the door clicking shut, I stood rooted to the sidewalk, the cold seeping into my bones. A light flicked on in an upstairs window, and I saw their silhouettes merge, a knife twist in my gut. I don't know how long I stood there, the streetlights blurring through unshed tears. Back home, I sat on the couch, her perfume suffocating now. My phone buzzed, a text from her. "I'm staying at a friend's tonight. Need some time." The lie was so blatant it almost made me laugh. Instead, I typed, "Who's C?" and hit send before I could stop myself. No response came, but I didn't need one. The truth was in the receipt, the calendar, the way she'd touched him. The next day, I packed her things. Not out of spite, but because I couldn't breathe with her ghost in every corner. Her sweaters, her sketchbooks, her half-used shampoo, they went into boxes, each item a shard of our past. I found a photo of us in Paris, her smiling under the Eiffel Tower, my arm around her. I wanted to tear it up, to burn it, but I couldn't. Instead, I slipped it into my wallet, a masochistic keepsake. That night, she came home. The key turned in the lock, and my heart lurched. She looked tired, her eyes red-rimmed, her hair messy. "Ethan," she started, her voice soft, "we need to talk." I cut her off. "I saw you. At the Blue Raven. With him." Her face crumpled, guilt and defiance warring in her expression. "It's not what you think," she said, but her voice wavered. "Then what is it?" I snapped, my anger finally spilling over. "You left me with a text, Lila. 7 years, and you couldn't even look me in the eye." She sank onto the couch, her hands twisting in her lap. "His name's Caleb. He's an artist. We met at the gallery. It just happened." Her words were a sledgehammer, each one fracturing something inside me. "Just happened." I echoed, my voice raw. "You don't just happen to throw away everything we had." She cried then, tears streaking her face, but I couldn't comfort her. "Not this time. I still love you," she whispered, and that was the worst part. I believed her. But love wasn't enough anymore. I saw it in her eyes, the pull toward something new, something she thought she needed more than me. I wanted to hate her, to call her a liar, a cheater, but all I felt was grief. "You should go," I said, my voice barely audible. She nodded, grabbing her coat, her steps heavy as she left. The door closed, and the silence was deafening. I sank to the floor, the photo from Paris in my hand. The betrayal wasn't just her with him. It was the realization that I'd lost her long before that night, and I'd been too blind to see it. Outside, the city hummed on, indifferent, as I sat alone in the wreckage of us.